Welcome back. I'm Emily, your telepsychologist with Mindset Therapy. Today, we're going to be focusing on executives and individuals in the corporate world and stress and anxiety that they might be experiencing. Remember, I'm invested in your change and I want us to continue to work together to see how we can make you a better you. With executives, there's increasing responsibilities as you move up the ranks within your business. There's more responsibilities, less time, more people asking things of you daily, and that's overwhelming and stressful. As an executive, you've worked really hard to get to the position that you are in today, but sometimes may feel like it wasn't the right decision or you can't take on one more task. You can though. We just need to work on ways to reduce your stress level to make you more effective. Some of the symptoms that people experience as their stress starts to rise are symptoms such as poor concentration, low frustration, irritability, sleep problems, changes in appetite. Those are common symptoms as stress increases. But what is stress? What is anxiety? I want to let you know that you need stress. You didn't get to this position as an executive without having stress in your life. But we want to keep the stress at a level that's manageable. If you think about a light switch, which goes from 0 to 10, a dimmer switch like you find in your house, you want to keep your stress level between the 4 and the 6. Anything below a 4, you're not going to work anymore, you're not taking care of your family, you're not doing your responsibilities. So that's not effective. Anything above 6, you're also not effective, but for very different reasons, is you don't have the resources at that point to be effective anymore. And so what we want to focus on today is recognizing when you're above that 6, between the 6 and 10 level on the dimmer switch, and what you can do when those symptoms start to appear. But let's talk a little bit about what stress and anxiety is. You've probably heard of the fight or flight response, also called fight, flight, or freeze. What this is a system that's in us as humans that prepares us for a danger. So let's say that you are on a vacation somewhere else and somebody comes up to you or your family and attempts to rob you. That can create a certain sense of fear in you. Your heart rate increases, your breathing gets faster and shallower, your muscles get tense, you get tunnel vision, so you can only see what's happening right now, but you don't see the car that's coming at you because you're stopped in the middle of the street. That is fear. Fear is in response to an actual danger. What anxiety is that same system being turned on in response to a perceived danger. Perceived simply means it's not happening at that moment or staring you in the face. As an executive, you have lots of perceived dangers. Will corporate like this decision that I've made? Will I meet this deadline? Will there be another task that happens? Can I get home to my family tonight to go to the dinner that I promised them? Those are all perceived dangers that increase your anxiety. Those are thoughts that lead to the mood of anxiety and then cause behaviors that start to become problematic and overwhelming. What you'll notice is the fear response should be turned on rarely. When you're anxious, you turn that system on constantly and you begin to run on empty and you become less effective, more irritable, low frustration tolerance, getting upset with people at home or at work, disgruntled. That's the anxiety at work. And you want to learn ways to manage that anxiety to make you more effective. Again, you have no resources left to deal with the tasks that are thrown at you daily in the work setting, but by learning treatment techniques to help you reduce your anxiety, you're actually going to be more effective in your work environment and function at the level that got you to the position you're in today. What I want to go over with you is some techniques that you can use to help you manage that anxiety. When I talked about anxiety, I mentioned how your heart rate increases, your breathing gets faster and shallower, your muscles get tense, the tunnel vision, adrenaline is released. When you're relaxed, your heart rate decreases, your breathing gets slower and deeper, your muscles are loose, and you no longer have that tunnel vision. What you see is when you are anxious and when you're relaxed, those are opposites. You cannot be both at the same time. And there are effective ways to decrease your anxiety through relaxation techniques. What I often hear from patients when they come in is, I'm busy. I don't have time to do relaxation. You want me to go home and take deep breaths to feel better? I do, because you're reversing the anxiety response. So the 10 minutes a day that you can use on deep breathing, which we will talk about in a little bit, or some of the other techniques, is going to make you more efficient and better able to handle the job that you've worked so hard to get. Some of the most common treatment techniques for relaxation are the deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, or even mindfulness. Deep breathing is probably the easiest to implement. It allows you the opportunity to just take a few minutes out of your day to breathe from your diaphragm in through your nose, out through your mouth, to reverse that anxiety response by implementing the relaxation response. Another technique is called progressive muscle relaxation, or PMR. PMR has you recognize where you're holding your tension. Right now, I want you to stop and think, what part of my body is tense? The most common locations are going to be your shoulders, your back, even your face. Those are where people hold most of their tension and stress. And if you notice, when you relax just a little bit, you can feel that change, then PMR might be a great treatment technique for you. What that does is there's a script where you move from basically the top of your body down to your toes, tensing various muscle groups along the way and releasing them. And by holding that muscle group tight for a few seconds and releasing it quickly, you can better feel what you experience as tension and what relaxation feels like. Stress, tension, they sneak up on us. We don't know they're happening. We don't pay attention to them until they've reached a point that is problematic for us. So as you notice the tension in your body, I want us to talk a little bit more about PMR. And we're going to go over a modified version of the script so that you can start to practice it and see if it's something you want a little bit more information on. If you have any questions or do find this to be a valuable technique, go ahead and comment down below. But let's start with PMR. So as I said, it's a way for you to recognize when your muscles are tense and when they're relaxed. When we keep our muscles in a tense state, we're no longer aware. That becomes our normal. And we want to reverse that process and increase your awareness of what a tense muscle is. So let's go ahead and try, again, a modified version of PMR. What I want you to do is I want you to focus on your hands. Go ahead and make some tight fists, the tightest fists that you can make. Now, quickly release it. That feeling of tension release is what I want you to experience as you go through this. Now let's focus on your shoulders. We're just going to move up your body. Focus on your shoulders. Go ahead and tense your shoulders as tight as you can tense them. Hold it for a few seconds, and now release. Notice that change from tension to release. Let's go up to our head. Again, this area is where most people hold most of their tension, and so that's why I'm going to use this as a modified version of the PMR. Now I want you to make a tight, close your jaw tightly and hold that for a few seconds. Tense it. And release. Again, feel that release of the tension and the change between a tense and a relaxed state. Another technique that you can use is called mindfulness. Mindfulness puts you in the here and now. When we're worried, when we're thinking about the deadline, whether corporate is going to call us and ask us why something was not done or why it was done the way it was done, we worry. We want to stop that worry process, which is increasing the anxiety, and get you back to where you are right now. So I want you to stop. Focus on what is happening around you. Look around you. Put your pen down, close the computer, put the phone to the side. What do you see? Do you see things in the room that maybe you didn't notice before? Is a certain part of it dusty that you haven't paid any attention to? What about smells? Did somebody bring a lunch to the office today? Is somebody cooking? Now think about taste. What tastes are in your mouth? Can you still taste the coffee from this morning? Anything else that you notice? Now hear. Can you hear those noises around you? Is it silent? Are people talking? Now touch. What can you feel? What is your chair made of? Is it soft, hard, hot, cold? When you just focused on all of your senses, you are in the moment right now, and those things in the future and the past didn't matter. That's what mindfulness is. It's taking you out of your head and into the moment right now. So as your days get longer and you're involved more and more of the grind, the expectations of you become more as well and are unrealistic. You can't maintain those. But in an attempt to try to meet the goals of those around you, you turn to unhealthy habits. In the moment, they work. They're good for you. But we want to talk about how they have long-term negative effects on your productivity and overall level of functioning. Some of the most common unhealthy habits used by individuals in the executive or corporate world are things like coffee, energy drinks, prescribed medication, illegal drugs, diet pills. Those are all meant to serve a purpose to make you more effective, but they're increasing your anxiety. Many of those substances are stimulants. Stimulants in combination with an anxiety are a very bad combination because it increases your anxiety experience. And we've already talked about what happens when your anxiety increases. Alcohol, although it's not a stimulant, can also have negative effects on you because it forces you to just deal in the moment and not think beyond that situation. When you do these unhealthy habits, they start to have an impact on your sleep, especially with the stimulants. When we talk about anxiety in general, when you're anxious, you're alert. Your body is looking for a danger. So that in and of itself is going to affect your sleep. Now you've added a stimulant on top of that. That's going to keep you awake. So you have these long days, you know you have to get up early in the morning. You want valuable sleep, but that's not going to happen if you continue to focus on these stimulants as a way to get through your day. You want to find ways to remove those and see if you can be more productive and get more productive sleep at night. Because when you don't sleep well, you don't function the following day, and your stress keeps adding up, and it's this cycle, day after day after day. And right now, if you're falling back on any of those unhealthy habits, you're just living moment to moment and increasing the stressors that you're experiencing. I want you to be a better executive and better able to perform your job while also being able to spend time with your family and have a good work-life balance. And part of the way you can do that is by reducing the stress and anxiety. As an executive, you've worked really hard to get where you are, and you've made everybody else and everything else a priority. And you've removed yourself, and you're probably at the bottom of the list. You used to work out every day, you used to make healthy choices, but you're busy. You've got a lot going on. But you need to make you a priority now so that you can perform at the level that you want to perform at. When you come to treatment, there's techniques that you can try before you come to treatment. However, if you make the decision to come to treatment, that is not a sign of weakness. That is a strength. People succeed by knowing when they need help. As your anxiety increases and your stress levels increase, you might notice that you're procrastinating more. The tasks keep coming. They're not going to go away. But you find that you are no longer able to do the tasks because you're putting everything off to the side. That is a symptom of anxiety and stress, and something that you can work on in therapy. Why wait for your breaking point? You want to get help before you no longer have the resources within you to work on the treatment process. One form of therapy that's new and up and coming is called telepsychology. What telepsychology is it takes the treatment from the traditional office setting that you drive to and puts it within your office or within your home. And so it removes many of the obstacles that you might have for attending a mental health appointment. Again, you're busy. Everyone's busy. Finding time to make an appointment, travel to the appointment, wait for your appointment to start, even the stigma of parking in front of a therapist's office are all obstacles for people as to why they don't seek mental health treatment. However, with telepsychology, you call in for your mental health appointment via video teleconferencing from your computer. That could be at home, in your office, or anywhere that's most convenient for you. When you call in for your appointment, you can just put on your schedule that you're at lunch or a personal phone call. Nobody needs to know what you're doing during that time period. And again, you don't have to travel anywhere or talk to anybody about what you're doing for that time. You're busy, and I want to help you reduce your time constraints and offer to you telepsychology as a service that might help you. And so just to summarize everything we went over today, is we talked about executives, which was the focus of this specific video, the expectations of you as an executive or a member of the corporate role, the grind, and the expectations of long days, many activities and duties and tasks that are required of you, and how that can lead to increasing stress and anxiety. We also talked about some relaxation techniques that you could use, such as deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and mindfulness. So finally, we talked about some unhealthy habits that are easy to fall into because you see others around you doing it as a way to stay awake, to stay active, to attend one more meeting, or go to work for one more hour. But also discuss that those are not going to work for you in the long run. Remember, I'm Emily with Mindset Therapy, and I'm invested in your change. If you have any questions about this video, again, comment down below or go to the website mindsettherapyonline.com.